On.
Welcome to the Circling the Drain podcast, Displaced Home Edition.
Woo!
Yay!
I'd rather you say displaced home edition rather than the editions that we can do. Displaced home edition.
Yes, we have been kicked out temporarily of Governor's Comedy Club studios while they're filming a movie. So the whole studio, the whole club has been taken over for the last 2 weeks, and I'm not sure. I believe next week we could be back in the studio. We'll find out then. Is that Freckles or is that? Oh, that's me.
No, that's you. That's yours.
Yeah, we all have dogs, so like, okay, that's okay. She wants to be on. She can be. She can take the place of. Well, I'm Ira, and normally I would say, "Here's Sean." I don't see. No, Sean's not able to be with us tonight, even if we were in the studio. But we do have the return of the Queen of Heels! Yay!
All hail!
All hail!
I've missed you guys so much.
Oh my God! Just seeing your face, I'm smiling. I'm happy. You know, look at that. We miss you, and we'll find out. We'll get right back into the swing. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. That's me. That's Caroline. So that must be Pickles.
It's like a triangle here. Don't ever say to my right or to my left, because it could be on every different way on a Zoom. So whatever. How y'all doing, everybody? Nice to be back on American soil.
Good to have
we'll get to that in a minute. First thing we do is we discuss shotgun stories, which I would play sound effects for, but I couldn't get the board. Yeah, there we go. That's a very weak one. Sean's not here. Who wants to take a crack at trying to explain shotgun stories to any newbies out there?
I'll go. So shotgun stories.
Let's go.
Each of us, whether it be Sean, Carolina, drink. So we come up with some of the weirdest stories from around the world, and we read them to you. Some are stupid. Some involve exotic pets. Some involve whatever Ira puts on screen. It's very, very, very much of a mixed bag. And then after that, we will put up a poll. We'll put it on the CTD podcast page, which you should go and subscribe to immediately. So you can vote each and every week on which story you like the best, vote for which story you like the best, vote for which person you like the best. All I ask you to do is vote. Winner gets a win. And if you win 3 wins in a row, you get to punish the other people. And Carolina has punishments ready for us that are possibly illegal in 48 states. Shotgun stories, vote, and listen.
Yeah, that part I could have done without, but yeah, I know they're coming.
That's true. I've researched them. It's definitely illegal in Tennessee. That's 100%.
She's asked you.
It might be.
Yeah.
You actually go to him and go, "Is this too painful? I want it to be painful, but no skin coming off."
No, she doesn't care about
Fernando.
She doesn't care about the pain. She just cares about the legality.
I have asked Fernando, like, do you think this is too much for the podcast? And he's like, no. And I'm like, all right, okay, so I could do it. And then it makes me feel better that I'm not the one causing you pain. You guys cause each other pain, so you take that up against yourselves, okay?
Technically, it's our audience. It's our audience, actually, who's doing it. But let's get to the last winner. Last time we were all together. I can't believe I'm saying it, but Sean won.
Wow!
Sean, who decided that he doesn't want to win. He didn't want to win any this year, and that's his 3rd win so far this year. So he's so bad at losing. Number 3. I'm keeping a tally. I have 4. Carolina, you have 3. Sean has 3.
I got you 1. No. Wins.
No, not punishment. Wins for this year. The person who gets the most wins at the end of the year gets 2 punishments to put on everybody else. And I don't care how bad it is. I shouldn't say that because just in case I lose. But since Sean's not here, now pinch hitting for Sean Radford. Number 2, Pickles.
not 100% sure Sean's going to enjoy getting credit for this story, but I'm going to help him try to win this week. And for that, we go to Mexico. This is not a shotgun story that I possibly would have done in Mexico, but it did happen during my vacation, and it did also happen during Monday, during the eclipse. So let's talk about.
So this is an actual. You brought your.
No,
own
no, 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 no.
shotgun
This is an actual story that
Oh.
happened in Mexico, but this is not something that happened
okay.
with me witnessing. So this is just for coincidence, but it's a good one. So a Mexican news outlet is guarding ridicule online because they aired the solar eclipse on Monday, like a lot of people did, a lot of television coverage. It's like, let's see people. And unfortunately, they accidentally aired a man's testicles during the broadcast. RCG Media's 24/7 news program was covering the eclipse with its 3 anchors, presented clips submitted by fans experiencing the celestial phenomenon, only to fall prey to what is known as a well-known prank in Latin America. The male host was listing the cities where the eclipse can be enjoyed, the clips being presented on the left side of the screen, and then on the left side of the screen, it cut to a man blocking out the sun with his testicles. A true fall eclipse or solar eclipse or whatever eclipse that you want to call it. One of the 2 female anchors could be heard gasping in shock while her male colleague carried on, ignoring the obscene image. He wasn't ignoring the obscene image. The clip was taken off the screen with the male anchor explaining that the clips were submitted by viewers, as he admitted that the fervor to the fans' experiences could lead to embarrassing situations for broadcasters. Now, this is not uncommon. People have shared clips. There was an eclipse in Chile back in 2019, and they showed the so-called testicular eclipse during that. Then even Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee had gotten in on the risque gag, posting a similar video on his Instagram page before taking it down. But that was the first time that image actually made its way to television. It remains unclear if that footage submitted was by the person himself or was actually recycled by previous testicular eclipse posts. So, balls out.
All I could say is I guess that, the manager of the TV studio must have been very testes.
It was a ballsy move. I do have to say that, going through airing that. So
I hear that's not the first time that happened. Like you said, there was a time when Uranus was shown.
It was a very big discovery at that point. This story is nuts.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So it was the what was it called? The partial or total lunar eclipse, right?
That's what it was the eclipse. That was the event, but the event is called, as it's part of the prank, a testicular eclipse.
Okay, so they didn't show when the blue balls went in front of the sun.
No. That's only on the medical shows that they show the blue balls going in front of the sun. It's like, if you see this, you might want to see a doctor. The sun's definitely.
And now back to you, Dick. Okay. Carolina, for the first time in a long time. Your story.
Okay, so mine also took place on Monday, right? Funny, but it has nothing to do with the eclipse. My story takes place in Florida. Mary Hollenbeck was at her home in Venice Grand Palm community when she heard banging at her front door. I thought it was someone trying to get into the wrong house. I got off my couch, came around the door, prepared to say, "You're at the wrong place." That is when she saw an 8-foot alligator at her front door.
Wait, did the gator knock? Hold on a minute.
The gator was banging on the door.
Okay.
Yes. So, Hollenbeck called 911. And it ended up taking several Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission officers to get the 8-foot alligator off the property. No one was hurt. Everyone was okay. And Mary went on about her way.
That's my fear. Can I tell you? My sister is moving down to Florida, and that is my fear, that she's going to just call up and go, "There's a gator in the pool. There's a gator in the house. There's a gator driving the car."
Did she name it? Name
Thinking
that
what?
gator before he goes in.
It's Chauncey.
Chauncey the
all,
gator.
Always a classic.
all I know is that if I move to Florida, I am calling out of work at least like once a month using that excuse. I'm sorry, there's an alligator by my car. It's in my driveway. I can't go to work. Sorry.
What makes you think it's going to be an excuse? You can legitimately call out once a month because of an alligator in your driveway.
Yep.
So let me go over this. Okay, so here's your salary, and you get 2 weeks vacation and 5 sick days, 3 personal days, and at least 12 alligator days, and 5 locust days. This is Florida.
That's amazing. I wish.
You have no idea what you get. Like, I had a friend who lived in Minnesota, and there were days you could call out in the winter and just go, no, the car won't start. No, I can't get there. There's too much snow. It's too cold. My engine will not start. And they'd be like, okay, you got to get a warmer for your car, and that's it. So every state has its own thing. I'm
Not
going to
us.
go. Go ahead.
I said not us.
No, we don't get anything. Maybe we'll start to get earthquake and eclipse days, but we'll talk about that later. For me, I'm going overseas to England now, where a kind-hearted elderly woman rushed into action. She spotted an abandoned critter at the side of the road. So that's pretty dangerous. Got to pull over your car, got to get it into the car. She wept. She thought it's the baby animal. She put it into a cardboard box. She lined it with a newspaper, and she put cat food in it because she didn't know what it was yet. It's just this furry little thing. So she puts it in there. She tried to keep her distance, but she brought it home, and she would check regularly. Okay, is it moving around? It's not eating? What should I do? After 48 hours, she just said, you know what? Thing's not eating. Maybe it got hit by a car. I got to bring it to a vet. So she goes to the vet, and the vet says it was the first admission of the day. The lady came in with the box. She said she found this little baby hedgehog because it was all cute and fuzzy on the pavement. It was cold. She picked it up. I brought it home. I tried to feed it. I tried to keep it warm, but it hasn't moved. I was alarmed. It's very early for a baby hedgehogs because they're out in England at this point of the year. So I was a bit concerned. The vet took the box. He brought it into triage, opened it, and he wasn't sure what he was looking at because it definitely wasn't a hedgehog. Perhaps it's some other fluffy creature as he went to touch it and nudge it. Then he decided to pick up the little fuzzball in his hand, and he realized exactly what it was.
Oh, God.
It was a pom-pom from a hat.
Ah.
She had been trying to feed and keep warm a little pom-pom from somebody's winter hat.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that confused?
And she stopped her car for this. Oh my God! There's a scarf. I must get it. I must save it. Maybe it's a snake. So the animal lover was very embarrassed, asking the manager if he was joking before he said, no, and before you leave, here's your box and your palm. Go do with it what you want. She was very
$500 vet
sweet.
bill.
And I wonder, it doesn't say anything, and I tried to look it up, if there was a vet bill.
Probably was.
We examined this thing. They didn't have to give it any shots. I hope not. Like, that would be the most hysterical thing. Ma'am, it's not alive. Here's your vet bill for $400. For what? Well, when we thought it was alive, we gave it shots and some special food that we opened up, and it's all fine though.
What?
She was very
You have
sweet.
to feed a cat food, by the way, first? Out of
That's all
the
she had.
things. Okay. But still.
That's all she had. Here's the one thing, and this is a very southern thing to say, and it means it's how you say it. Bless her heart, which means you're either I'm doing, oh, how sweet of her, or what an idiot. So, bless her heart, said the vet. And there we go. So the hedgehog, Sonic, the hat hedgehog, is back there. Any questions?
I wonder if she kept
worst.
Give it to you if you have kids or grandkids. Like, bring this in for show and tell. Tell them it's a hedgehog. Fooled me. Fooled them. What you looking at, Pickles?
No, it'd just be hilarious just seeing. How long did it take her to realize this?
She didn't realize it at all. She just like scooped it up into the box and just like.
Someone else had to realize it for her? That's ridiculous.
How does she spot the pom pom? A pom pom is small. How does she spot that from her car?
I don't know. I can tell you that it's probably more than a year ago. Last summer or 2 summers ago, I was driving home, and on my streets, I just spotted this tiny little thing moving, and I pulled over my car, and it was a little slider turtle, and he was trying to cross the road. I stopped the car, put him on the grass, and was like, "Okay, fella, go move along."
Aww.
So you can spot these little things, but mostly because I would think they were moving. I mean, you don't spot Ugg boots and go, hamsters, you know? Or do you? I don't know.
Bless their heart.
I have all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
When you put on your Ugg boots, you think they're hamsters?
I pretend I make sure that they're hamsters so I can just feel all the fluffiness that I would always want to feel.
He doesn't buy Uggs; he buys stirs.
That's right. And they go on wheels all the time. You can just like go in, you can just put those Uggs on wheels and they'll move. It's amazing.
Your life is on a wheel now. You're on a treadmill.
That's right.
Tell everybody how they can vote for one of these stories.
So how you can vote. Our esteemed colleague, Mr. Ira over here, not a hairdresser, understandably, will put up the poll options on CTD on the Drain, or Circling the Drain Facebook page. He'll do that tomorrow. He'll vote for whichever story you want. Vote for the nutsack. Vote for the alligator. Vote for the pom-pom that looks like an animal only if you smoke the most amount of weed possible in England. And I don't even know if that's even the case. But whatever you do, vote. Someone wins. 3 wins in a row. Gets punished. We put those up eventually. There'll be a lot of pain going on in 2024. I have a feeling. That shotgun stories.
By the way, this is the second week. Well, I mean, we haven't done back-to-back shows because of the stoppage at the comedy club, but this is the second stories in a row that involve fat alligators.
Yes.
Oh, really?
We need more of them.
Go ahead.
We almost should do a segment on them, if that's
fat alligator.
Fat alligator segment.
Hi. Do you have an alligator? Is he obese? Come on down to our treatment center. We're going to thin him out for you. At Thinigator, we love to help people. Slimigator? I don't know.
Slimigator sounds better, but I still love either of them as like the new dietitian product. It's like, welcome to Thinigator. You want your alligator to be nice and easy and go on people's lawns without actually having to run? Thinigator.
You know, now that we think about it, I would not want that. It'd be like, my alligator, the one that comes by my house, he's big and fat and I can still outrun him. If we get him thin, he's going to eat me.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
So let's move on. I would play transition music, but you wouldn't hear it. So. Okay. And now the Muppets, apparently. Pickles.
Yes.
You just came back from Mexico.
I did. A lot of good things on this vacation. I said to Carolina before we went on. Very rarely do you think of a vacation as the perfect amount of time. 7 days is such a perfect amount of time for vacation. It was on a resort. This is the second time we visited a resort. This was at Iberostar, very good hotel resort over in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, which is about 45 minutes away from Cancun. Being on a resort is kind of fun. You get to basically either enjoy the pool and beach all day and having a drink in your hand a lot, or you go out and you or do like little excursions. I always recommend doing 1 to 2 excursions during these trips because you're paying to be on a resort and you're paying to enjoy the facilities. They're doing as much as they can to keep you there. So we went snorkeling on the Friday of our vacation. I almost drowned in the first snorkeling thing that I went to because I
Breathe, breathe.
I only snorkeled once in my life. I snorkeled 10 years ago. By the way, we went for me and my wife's 10th wedding anniversary, which was back on March 29th.
Nice.
But almost drowned. But it was still, I got back on there. And it's like, go back to the boat immediately. Because again, they don't want anyone to die or feel like they're even coming close to dying on these excursions. But after that, I went back and then did everything the snorkeling, because we snorkeled with 3 different areas. That was fun. We had an adult pool where that was like they had a swim up
I need the porn music.
No. Well, no, but we had a pool that was like adults only. So we had a lot of fun. We met up with a bunch of different people over there from a lot of different places.
Well, sure, that's what the swingers resorts are all about.
Yeah. Well, again, not the swingers resorts. There was again, I don't want to get into. There's another story that I might want to get into another time. Remind me to save it.
The lovely wife has some stories, I'm guessing.
No. It's more of a story that we saw with 2 other people. So remind me to save it. But it was fun. We met a bunch of couples over there. We actually met a wedding also that was very fun over there. That was hanging out. So we were at that pool a lot during the day. Not a lot of nightlife excursions that we wanted to go to. So had a lot of fun at that. Ironically enough, we wanted to go and kind of avoid U.S. spring break, which we did. But it was Canadian spring break. And I think I have never met, but it was a lot of fun Canadians over there. And I am promising the accent was there with some people, but that was the most Canadians I've ever seen in one place at the same time. And most of them were really cool, and none of them apologized for anything.
Well, really? Sorry? No?
Yeah, no. I think I'm done doing Canadian accents now because of it, but it was a really fun trip. It's something that is a good thing to go to every 1 or 2 years. The foods at these resorts are pretty damn good. And obviously the drinks at the resorts are drinks. I mean, if you like Dos Equis beer, you're drinking it the whole entire time. But still, it was really fun. And I always suggest having like one of those types of vacations if you can every 2 or 3 years or so.
What I want to know is, now, you went to Mexico, and like you said, you're 35 minutes from Cancun? Did you say
35 to 40 minutes from Cancun?
Okay. That's sort of my point, and I'm not saying not to go because the weather and the ocean, everything's different than what we get. But seriously, if you went to any top-notch beach resort, because I'm sure you went to a really good one, they're going to feed you really good food. They're going to make sure you've always got that coconut or beer in your hand. You're drinking constantly. Is there really any difference? Like, if we had sent you to Florida and you were staying on this 5-acre place and you're not leaving, and
the difference on here,
drinking.
Well, the difference in here is there's also a lot of like little jungle areas also around, so you got to see a little bit of like animals that you don't see before. You saw monkeys.
Their version.
No, it wasn't their version. They were actually like legitimate monkeys. There was always like little cooties, I believe, which is like the much cuter version of a raccoon down there. I've gotten it cute. So you got to see. That's one of the reasons Randy, my wife, wanted to go tremendously, because of all of the jungle areas and all of the
that's cool
ways that you can hang out with animals in there. And that's something. Yes, I agree with you totally.
Well, you said you were at the adult pool, so I'm sure there were animals there.
Oh, there definitely were animals at the adult pool. That is for 100% sure, all different kinds. But I think it also depends. Weather is a huge factor with these things too, because if it rains on a resort, it's not fun. But the weather was perfect the whole entire week over there. And it's also a different way to look at it. Like, you could go to Florida for a resort, that's fine, but eventually you're realizing you're in Florida and you may not get to see the most amount of people that you want to see or get to experience different good foods down there. So not all resorts are similar. And like I said, but there are also ways that you can just enjoy yourself on vacation. The only reason I stay at the resort more than doing an excursion, always do 1 or 2, but if you do an excursion, You have to wake up early, and I know some people don't like to sleep.
Yeah.
I know Carolina has always said I do like to sleep on. I don't like to sleep on vacation. I want to get as much shit as I
Yeah,
want to
she
get
gets
done
that.
possible. But
Mhm.
also, your day is pretty much like one or two things because you have to take that ride in, you have to take a ferry over to another place. So
Mm.
it's
But
one
even
thing
when you're
you get to
doing
do.
that, like the ferry, that's part of the excitement. You know,
Not if the ferry is making you dizzy and is a very, very weird ferry. I would not say that would be considered part of the excitement all of the time.
Okay, going back to you almost drowning. Did this have anything to do with maybe you bent your elbow a little too much before, or
No, it
what
was
was
the
the
day, it was
reason?
on the day when we were not doing that. No, no, no. It just had to be me just being a complete spaz the moment I went into the water and just
Breathing and swimming together were two things he couldn't put together.
breathing and swimming together, and also the fact that there was like no one really puffed up the life jacket too, which you get on there. So it's like it was like, oh fuck, and then
They
immediately
want
it's
me to
all
drown.
It's okay.
yeah.
I almost drowned the first time I went snorkeling too.
Did you?
I did. Yep. I did.
Oh my God! Remind me not to go swimming with you too.
I
You
can't
keep pulling
swim.
on my leg. Oh, look at the sea turtle. Okay. Let's discuss what has happened this past week.
What?
We had an earthquake. We had a
Yes.
4.8 magnitude earthquake, which, for anybody who doesn't know, we're in New York and we really don't get those. April 5th, it measured 4.8 with the epicenter in Lebanon, New Jersey, and people reported feeling the quake as far as Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. Now, we had one about four and change somewhere like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was at work in the bathroom, and I remember watching you feel the tremor, and I'm watching the tiles shake. And I'm going, what the hell was that? You know, it takes like 5-10 seconds. I get out of the bathroom and everyone's discussing, oh, it was an earthquake. Guess where I happened to be where this earthquake hit?
Oh
I
no.
was
In the
in the
bathroom.
bathroom again. But this time I watched the tiles and I went, oh, this seems familiar, a little deja vu. Just ride it out and that's it. So Carolina, where were you when this happened?
I was at work and we were all talking. There was a few of us at work, and I don't even know what we were talking about. And then I just felt it shake, and I stood up and I saw my computer monitor shaking a little bit,
Jeez.
and I'm like, is that an earthquake? And then we're like, everyone was like, what's that? What's going on? I knew
Yeah,
it
we
was
don't
an
get that.
earthquake immediately. And we have a coworker who moved from California. She's been there for a few months. So she's like, that's not an earthquake. And I'm like, yes, that's an earthquake. She's like, that's not an earthquake. And I'm like, girl, we don't get earthquakes here. That's an earthquake. And she's
This is
like,
what path is for it here. Yeah.
that was nothing. She's like, it was a little tremble. Like, it's fine. You guys are being dramatic. And I'm like, yeah, we're being dramatic because we don't get earthquakes here. Like, we get it. You're used to it and they're worse, but everyone ran out the office and you saw multiple people in the hallway, but it was a pretty cool experience because I
Yeah.
didn't necessarily feel the first one. So to feel this one, it was kind of cool. Like, oh shit, I was actually in an earthquake.
Did either one of you have any coworkers who were just panicked over it?
Yes,
Mm,
yes, there was one.
I think
Mhm.
it wasn't a panic. It was just more of a what the fuck moment. I feel like when that something happens, there's just like a lot of okay, how? I mean, this hasn't happened. I think in this area for like over a decade.
Yeah,
No,
it's like
over a
10 years.
century. I'm sorry, over a century.
No, I'm telling you, it
That
happened
thing.
like a decade ago.
Yeah, but no, but magnitude wise, nothing like
Oh,
this had
okay.
been that way since 1884. I think from
Yeah.
Oh
what I was
shit.
looking at. But people are like, "Fuck, is this the apocalypse? Apocalypse coming up?" But it wasn't like they felt unsafe. It was just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
That's the weird part is they are portraying us like, oh, they were so scared for a 4.8. No, anybody really? You're the first person, Carolina, telling me, yeah, somebody was a little worried about it. I took it as, oh, there's an earthquake. Let me check on my phone. Yeah, it was an earthquake. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, I wasn't like, I mean, once it stopped, I'm like, does that mean we get to go home now? Like, can we go home? But
Oh,
I had to check on
trauma,
my loved ones.
trauma. It's like trauma insurance. It's like, I don't like this. I mean, I just feel unsafe right now. I need to go home. A couple of days, please. I need to mourn. What are you mourning? I don't know. I'll figure something out. Just let me
I
know.
need to get to my emotional support dog right away. So were you at Pickles, were you at work or at home? Home working.
Or was I on vacation?
Oh yeah, that's right. You were on
Yeah,
vacation.
I was on
See?
vacation. So
Yeah.
I got people that I mean, I was like a bunch of work groups. I mean, because obviously your phone still works in Mexico.
Yeah.
Was talking about just like, holy shit. I mean, would I would want to be here for it? Sure. But it was just like, I do feel like, though, with all of the reactions going in there, I feel like there has to be at least a million Californians that are like, all right, pussies. And
Yeah.
then just move
Yeah.
on. So,
Personally, now I would be that guy if I were you, Pickles. Just like we had an earthquake. Yeah, I almost drowned. I win. You guys were fine. I almost drowned.
well, as you saw on my own Facebook page, I just put up, it's like, describe the earthquake in 5 words or less.
Yeah, beer, please. That's how I describe the earthquake.
That's always how I describe the earthquake. It definitely is pretty much exactly those words.
And then what happened on Monday? Oh, we experienced a total solar eclipse that raced across the continent. This is how they describe it. Thrilling those lucky enough to behold the spectacle. Streetlights blinked, planets came into view, the moon shrouded the sun. Let's see, dogs howled, frogs croaked, and people wept at eclipse mania that gripped Mexico, US, and Canada.
That was just during the testicles being on the television screen. Actually,
And
that made them weird.
exactly. And people went, is that a meteor? No, that's just straight hair. Just move
Yeah,
that guy
nah,
out of there.
nah.
Manscaping.
Is that on fire? He does have to get that checked.
So Pickles, you said you were still in Mexico.
I was still in Mexico. It was a little less because I believe it was what, 90% coverage here in this
90, yeah,
area.
something like that.
There was about 60, so you
Okay.
don't get to see it as much. I mean, Brandy had brought glasses, so I got to see it through that. I mean,
They brought glasses, but they filled it with drinks, and then
that was later. That was later. That eventually happened. But overall, can I say meh? Can I really just say meh?
Yeah,
especially for that, because it's just like, okay, cool, great. Now on with my drink, or on with the whole
sorry.
stuff.
Now, Carolina, you were in your office, right?
No, I was actually home.
Oh,
I
you were
didn't go to
home.
work that day. Yeah.
Okay.
Big meh. Okay, big meh. That shit was like,
Mm-hmm.
Fernando and I, we literally took our beach chairs and we put them outside and we're like, all right, we're ready. We are ready for this. And we didn't have our glasses, so we weren't looking directly at it, but we were
Let's
filming it
with
with our phone. And
Right,
so we were sitting outside, and I'm like, okay, I can't wait to see it get dark. Like, I can't watch the eclipse, but I'm gonna see it go from light to dark to back to light.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'm excited. And then we're sitting out there, and it's like 4:30, and I'm like, I think it passed. And Fernando's like, no, and I'm like, I think it's over. Like, I
At
think the
4:30,
whole thing
it's
is
over.
over.
like, very
Yeah,
over,
and
like over for an hour and a half.
yeah, and we're like, what the, like, it was nothing. It got a little less bright,
It
and
was
that was
like
it.
dust. Yeah.
Yes. And I was very disappointed. I thought, again, I was gonna see a drastic change from light to dark to back to light, but no, it wasn't. It was like it was literally like a cloud came and covered the sun and then moved. That's
Yep.
all it was.
Now, I understand we weren't in. I'm sure we've all seen the videos of the place that got like 100%, where you could see the moon go there and it got pitch black And then 3 minutes later, hey, look, it's back to normal. Now back to work. They had people who cried over this. I will never be able to unsee it. It was so beautiful.
There's one coming in 20 years.
21, actually, it says. Said experiencing the eclipse, it was beyond my expectations. I didn't expect to cry, but I did. What?
Also high.
I didn't
Maybe
cry.
that would have helped.
I think she was crying. He was hot.
But like you said, the next one's going to be in 21 years. And for New York, though, the path is supposed to be from Mexico heading toward California. So if you're expecting to be in New York and going, well, maybe it'll be better. No. But I did hear people. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I do want to say that like that day, because that day I had a doctor's appointment, so I didn't go to work. But when I came back, I was telling Fernando, I'm like, I feel weird. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I can't explain it. I feel weird. I feel very weird. And I had like a mild headache. And then later on in the day, you know, I'm scrolling through Instagram and there was something called solar eclipse sickness or some shit where people reported feeling weird and having a headache. And I'm like, oh shit, it's real.
I had that for like 20 minutes. I came back and I'm talking myself out of it. Yeah, sure, I have eclipse fever, sure. And then I heard about it and I went, oh, but it went away in like 20 minutes.
Just play some Bobby Tyler, you'll be fine.
It was a total eclipse of my heart. I turned around, and that was it.
Once upon a time, you were falling in love.
And now I can't even go and fart. We're gonna move on to food that actually can make you fart, guys.
Everything else,
everything. How do you feel when you show up to food, a store, anything at all, and something's on sale?
I buy it.
It's on sale. You're saving money, right? You're happy.
It depends what it is. If I need it or if I want, you know, if I eat it, yes, I'll buy it. But if it's just something useless that I don't,
if there is two brands of things that I find interchangeable, which is in most cases, not necessarily in a few cases, like mayonnaise, it's always going to be one brand over the other in my book. But if it's
Hellmann's, like, better be Hellmann's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's Hellmann's. It's absolutely Hellmann's. But if it's like Heinz, if it's like mustard,
I'm gonna
if
stand
it's like,
up for a second.
If it's like toilet paper, if it's like yogurt, if it's like anything, most of the time the tiebreaker is going to be which one is on sale, which one is cheaper. That's really it.
I don't know if this is a Hispanic thing, okay? But when I go buy my the packages of meat, I will find the cheaper one. I don't care if it's 2 cents cheaper. I'm going with the cheaper one.
Everybody does that. This one is $5.98 and that one is $5.91. Yeah, I'm gonna take that one.
Yep.
I am the person that did argue about coupons back in the day at online. So I should don't right. I have to have it cheaper. So
listen, I love my coupons. No shame.
No, absolutely not. If I had more time, I'd probably go back to doing that. Well, here's a man in Cleveland. Let me just tell you a little story about Howard Vernon. He's 38 years old. He's working the drive-thru at Burger King one morning in Cleveland. Customer comes through the drive-thru. He wants 2 sausage, egg, and cheese croissants, sausage biscuit, hash browns. Okay, so typical breakfast order. Total came to $8. The guy says, nope, I order this every day. It's $11 and change. The guy explained to him, oh, but we're running a special right now. So now, today, it's $8. Said, nope, you can't be right. My order is $11 and change. Again.
Okay, cool. I'll pocket the 3 if that's the case.
I was thinking,
you can give me $11.
Nope, he started cussing and getting loud. I know what I ordered and I know what I'm supposed to pay. And you can't tell me you didn't get my order right. So what did he do? He drove off. Didn't take his money, didn't take his food, didn't pay for it, none of it. So he sped off, and then another customer comes up, and the drive-through, he's helping the new customer. When that initial customer comes right around, he parks next to, let's see, so now we have drive-through, card, and now this guy's right next to him.
Oh,
And what do you think he did?
Yelled
Any
at the
guesses?
other customer.
He pulled out a gun.
of course.
He was parallel, and there we go. Well, the woman
He
in
pulled
the car.
out a gun on the other car.
Nope, on the drive-through.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, he probably could have lowered the gun and shot the old lady in her car.
Could have
But
easily
no.
done that.
At the end of the day, and Mr. Vernon just was sitting there going, what's going on here? He said he wasn't scared at the moment. He got scared later. At the end of the day, it was about bread and sausage. I mean, why are you that mad that you're pulling a gun? Then I started to think about it, and then I got scared. What if he had killed me? I have 10 kids. I would have been leaving my kids.
Wow.
The police
That's a
department is
concern.
still looking for that guy.
Okay.
Is there?
So
Go ahead.
so this, you know how you rob this, how people will rob convenience stores for money. This is literally the situation of robbing a convenience store and saying, "Can I pay you more money for your till?" That's essentially what you're doing here. It's like, I don't think you have enough money. Please let me give you some more. No, I'm fucking serious. Accept this money or die.
Are you saying I can't afford $11?
What? No, no. I mean, no. I will pay these $11. Let me pay these goddamn $11.
Oh my God. Just imagine if it were a pay it forward situation. Now, sir, you don't know anything. The guy in front of you just took a, you liar, bazooka.
That would ruin paying forwards for the rest of time.
Shotgun story. Pay it forward ends horribly wrong. I can't believe that. I guess
That's
there's really
insane.
nothing to do in Cleveland, right?
But meth.
I mean, at this point, give me the fucking $11. Just give me the $11, sir, and go on about your way.
Exactly. A guy pulls a gun and goes, what would you like it to be? Because I'll adjust it to anything you want to give me.
Seriously.
You want to give me a penny or you want to give me a 20? We're good here.
Mhm.
Oh, my God.
Is this a situation, by the way, where it's not about the money anymore? It's like, I'm right and you're wrong. It's like, just admit
That's
you're
what it sounds
wrong.
like.
And so it sounds more like that. It sounds like
Mm-hmm.
because that just seems like again, influence has to be involved a little bit in here, but I feel like this is more of a, I'm right, you're wrong situation.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember? You probably won't remember, but you've heard of SCTV?
Yes,
Which was like
I've heard of it.
Canadian
I've never
Saturday Night
seen it.
Live. Okay. They had, oh no, it wasn't. It was, I'm sorry, it's Kids in the Hall. Have you heard of Kids in the Hall?
Same.
Mm-mm.
Heard it, never seen it.
Okay. It's a comedy troupe. One of the characters dressed up as a character called the Chicken Lady. It was half woman, half chicken. And the chicken lady had OCD. She had to do, I have to do the exact same thing that I do every day, the same way. So I'm wondering if this is a guy with like major OCD. It's like, I have to pay 11.17. I have 11.17. I have to get, how do I give you $8 when I have a 10, a 1, and a dime and nickel and 2 pennies? How can I do that?
Has he ever heard of change?
Change comes from within.
Yeah, within the register. It's $3 and you give it to the person and you give it to the other person.
No, I give him 11.17. That's it. I get nothing back. He gives me nothing. I get my food.
So $3.17 tip for good service.
Or is it the same every day? I have to do the same thing every day. I order, they tell me the amount is wrong, and I pull a gun on them, and then they leave.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, let's talk about. Oh, you guys. Have you ever been? I know, Carolina, you like to go to national parks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to like the Northwest, like Washington, Oregon, that kind of?
No. Mm-mm.
No, you haven't
Not
been
yet.
there. I know Utah was last. Pickles, you ever been up to that part of the country?
No, but I would love to go, especially like would Montana qualify in that same category? Because I've heard many good things about camping in Montana.
About camping, yeah, but Washington and Oregon have something that most places don't have, which is Bigfoot sightings.
Ah, that
Mm,
would be even
So
more fun, actually.
we have a man who he's another one who's just a stickler for the rules. He
okay.
called up a local sheriff's office in Washington State, and he said, "Hey, I'm coming up there, and I'm going to be there about mid-April, which would be now, and I want to hunt in this area, Big Meadow Lake, and I want to know, do I need a permit to hunt Bigfoot? Because I want to do it, but I want to be legal about it. Going
And I'm
take
gonna pay
him.
11.17 for that permit, and you're not going to stop me.
I'm gonna pull a gun on you if there isn't enough sausage on there." So they tried to get rid of him, and they referred him to the Fish and Wildlife, just as your story did earlier in Florida. Apparently, there's fish and wildlife everywhere.
Everywhere.
So he said, "We're getting rid of them. Talk to them." The law conscious hunter then went to Fish and Wildlife, who, by the way, said, "Who referred you to us?" Which I would have done. So he talked to them. He said, "I have concerns how to stay legal while hunting in Big Meadow area because state regulations are unclear regarding Sasquatch hunts."
They do need to
In
make that
Law of the
clearer
Land,
from now and then.
was that ever covered in Law of the Land?
Probably. I mean, they do need to make that clear. I've always said that there's always been some murkiness in those laws. I've always asked my local representative for years to tell me how I, myself, can get Bigfoot and hunt him legally in these American states.
The more you know. Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
So the chief called the party back and he said, "I've got two pieces of information for you. In Meadow Lake, in our county, he would have more information. They would have more information. So again, check with Fish and Game. But there are no Sasquatch in our county. We know this because one of our deputies would have actually hit one with a patrol car by now had it been out." So they're saying there's no Sasquatch. I say it's a conspiracy, and they just don't want him to hunt them.
I agree. I agree. This is all bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes up to the deepest level of state, I have a feeling.
Fish and Wildlife, Big Fish and Wildlife. They've
Bigger
got
fish and wildlife. It's the last level. It's the final boss of fish and wildlife.
And thank you for bringing WrestleMania into this. And of course, as I brought up, it's time to play Law of the Land. I know there's only two of you. Let's see if we can do this real quick. Okay, guys, believe me. I'm at home. You should believe me. It's nice
There's
and comfortable
no reason
here.
why I shouldn't believe you. I trust I trust you both. Most
If I'm wrong,
you.
if I'm wrong, if I'm lying, may we have an earthquake. Or if I'm lying, may the sun just go dark for a while. I mean, that doesn't happen, right?
No, never.
Right here in New York.
I'm going to tell you in Texas, it's illegal for young women allowed to have any raw onions after 6 p.m. It is illegal for young women to consume raw onions after 6 p.m. I guess you want to kiss them and you don't want them to get, all stanky, like
Right.
that. Carolina, is that true?
I'm gonna say it's false
You're going to say
because it's in
false.
Nevada.
Ooh, I like that. Just going off the board. Bonus
I'm-
points if you get that one right.
Let's hope.
I'm gonna say true, not just because Carolina said false, although that has a little something to do with it, but because of the fact that this seems like such a law that Texas could basically put the phrase "young woman" up and not specify what that young woman is, so they could say, this 60-year-old young woman is eating a raw onion. I think this needs to stop. So I have a feeling "young woman" for Texas might mean like 76. So I say
Ooh.
this is true.
Well, you're absolutely right. It is true. It is a law
Wow.
in Texas.
That's
My
insane.
goodness.
That's
Okay.
insane.
What's the cutoff
Re-
for a young woman?
I don't know.
for-
You know what? When it's a real law, I usually look for details like that. I couldn't find anything.
Okay.
I'm just
except
like
the
the
cutoff for
frog.
a young the cutoff for the young woman is how long the onion stays ripe.
Well, in Texas they have let's see, a young woman would be from when you're first conception, but the second that they turn one, then they don't care about them anymore. So
The stars
sorry,
are
Texas.
bright and the onions are ripe deep in the heart of Texas.
So now we're moving to California, where I'm telling you, it is illegal to eat a frog that died during a frog jumping competition. So you can eat a regular frog. I found this frog on the road. He was wearing a palm on his hat, but that was it. I'll go back to shotgun stories if you want that one. But if he died during a frog jumping competition, then you can't eat him. Pickles.
What
What do you
state did
think?
you say this was in?
California.
That California accent did not play. I will say. I'm gonna
Dude.
say, dude, this frog over here. I need something to eat. Protein and greens. I'm gonna say false because you can eat a frog whenever you want. They're on keto over there half the time, so they need to make sure that their diet is nice and steady. So you can eat frogs anytime in California. Do not worry,
Dude,
ladies and gentlemen.
can't have a frog sandwich. It's got bread on it. Not doing
Doesn't that thing
politics
have
here.
legs? Those legs are actually injured during a jumping competition. Ew, gross. Let's eat.
Okay, Carolina, what do you say?
I'm gonna go with true because California has some weird laws.
Well, that's true.
Wow.
Believe it or not,
Jesus.
I want to see that the first time that was enforced, where they're like, "I'm sorry, you can't eat Mr. Jumpers, but I'm hungry. We eat frog legs here." Like, no, he needs to be buried. He's a true champion.
I
We
feel
must
like
give him a 21 jump salute.
I feel like the Florida Man Olympics would be the perfect time for the frog jumping competition. They would do just like a special, like 2-for-1 type deal. Stay for one, get to see the other.
We missed the Florida Man Olympics. They actually
Was it
happened
this year?
last
I
month.
thought like it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Okay, because I thought it
Aw.
was next year for some reason, but it was
It
this year. Okay.
didn't really turn out as great as we all thought it might be. So
That's so disappointing.
next year they'll have the 800-pound alligator wrestle, I'm sure. Okay, true or false? I'm telling you it's true that
I mean,
in
have to be.
Michigan it is illegal to accept an artificial limb as payment for goods and services. So
Oh.
I want to buy this here case of beer. What are you offering me? Hold on a
An
second.
arm and a leg.
Oh, ding, 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 ding.
Just there.
Well, Pickles, what do you think?
I think this is false. I don't know why it is. I just feel like there's enough limbs in Michigan that they need to be used correctly in some way,
Isn't that Ted Nugent's up there? He's hunting you. He's
They're
hunting
actually
Sasquatch.
at least 50% of the economy from last year comes from Ted Nugent hunted limbs. I'm
There
100%
we
sure.
go. Kid Rock and Eminem, and that's it, right?
Yes, and
Good.
the Detroit Lions.
True. Carolina. So, what do you think?
I'm
You
gonna
walk
go
into
with.
a store.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think it's true because I'm pretty sure someone tried it. Someone tried it.
Well, maybe they did, but that's false. I made it up. So there we go.
I give you a hand, but you can't. But and you can pay for it with that hand. So
Okay. In Iowa, I'm telling you, it's illegal to set off fireworks after dusk. So when it's dark, no fireworks. No, you can only do them in the daytime. Carolina, isn't that the best time to light off fireworks in the daytime?
It is.
Or an eclipse?
During an eclipse. I'm gonna go with true, just because don't and I'm sorry if I offend anyone, but I think people from Iowa may be a little dumb. So I'm gonna go with true.
We have listeners there. Let us know. Are you dumb? Are the people in
My
Iowa
bad.
dumb?
I'm sorry. Not our
Pickles?
listeners, just other people in Iowa.
They're smart enough to listen to us, so they're okay.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
We love
Pickles.
you, Hawkeyes. We love you, Hawkeyes. We love you, Cyclones, and we love every single one of you Iowans over there. I'm going to agree with Carolina, not because Iowans are dumb, but because somebody possibly lost a limb back in the day in Iowa. They went to Michigan and paid for a 6-pack of beer with it. So it's a sad, tragic event that has led to so many law possibilities in the near future. So I'm going to say true as well.
And thank you for tying that into Michigan with the arm one. I'm going to blow off my finger so I can go to Michigan and pay for something. I'm going to buy more fireworks with it. It'll be great. But fortunately, they that up. It's fall. So people in Iowa, you're okay by us. Okay.
You light your fireworks at night. You're okay.
Pickles, you're leading 2-1. Fifth question. And I'm telling you, in Arizona.
You wouldn't lie.
In Arizona, it is illegal to have a donkey sleeping in your bathtub after 7 p.m.
Oh, so, but if it's 6:59, I'm fine, right?
So if he gets drunk, if I get a donkey drunk, and we come home at like 3 a.m.
I was going to say, what's the cutoff point? That's a very big part of that question. It's like, if it's 7 to 12, not good. But if it's like, if the donkey needs a place to stay for the night at like 12:02, I think we're perfectly fine. Okay, good. I'm glad.
Hey, we're in hee-haw country. We're in Arizona.
Yeah, well, we're still in hee-haw country, kind of.
Wait, the donkeys that travel down, like you ride the donkeys down the Grand Canyon in Arizona, and they deserve to pop a few.
Absolutely.
I know if I rode one down, do you want to give anything to the donkey? You want to give him some carrots? I'm like, hell no, give him some beer. Give him some tequila. He deserves it. He can sleep it off in my bathtub later on.
I've been to the Grand Canyon. I've given a Pabst Blue Ribbon to a donkey or two. It's actually they enjoy it.
So you gave the cheap beer.
Of course I did. Of course I did. And that is why I'm telling you that you are lying. This is false, and donkeys can sleep wherever they want, whenever they want. Be hilarious if this law was before 7 and not after 7.
So they can, going back to Carolina's shotgun story, they can knock on your door and go, I can't take it. The missus just,
They gotta get to Vegas somehow.
Okay, true. So Carolina, donkeys and bathtubs.
False.
Both gonna say false.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's true.
Oh wow.
What the hell?
Yep. So you can have a donkey sleep in your bathtub, but not after 7 p.m. Don't let him be lazy. He's already slept most of the day away. He's got to get up and go to work.
What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff? I'm just saying, why 7?
Seriously.
I don't know. So since we have a clear winner, Pickles won. Do you want the extra credit question?
Of course, it's Florida. We always need to be educated. Right.
Well, in Florida, it's a pretty simple one, so I think you should get this. In Florida, it's illegal to eat cottage cheese on Sunday.
True. Oh, of course. Absolutely. I know there's a lot of old women in there, but they can take a day off.
You're saying the entire state is lactose intolerant, and
that's right. No, they can take a day off. Sunday is the Lord's Day. They don't need to have cottage cheese on the Lord's Day. All right. You can do heroin on the Lord's Day. You can't do cottage cheese on the Lord's Day.
Bath salts, cocaine.
I've never had cottage cheese.
It's
terrible.
You
never had cottage cheese.
Fucking terrible.
You gotta add fruit to it or something, but
it's still terrible.
Okay, so Carolina on a Sunday, What do you say?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with true.
You're both gonna say true.
Oh.
It's true.
So then
Let's
it is true.
go.
It is true. Pickles wins.
Let's
Congratulations.
go.
Congrats, Pickles.
I'm gonna get
Let's
some
go.
cottage cheese. I'm gonna get some cottage cheese and celebrate.
Ooh.
I feel like cottage
And
cheese doesn't even look appetizing. Like, why is it lumpy?
It looks terrible. It looks so goddamn terrible.
It does.
Oh.
I've eaten it with fruit, but there's someone Pickles and I know very well. He's my mother used to drop me off at their house, and then we would go to camp together. The bus would come by and pick up everybody, and that was the stop by his house. And every morning would be the same breakfast, which would disgust me. It still does. It was cottage cheese, cold spaghetti, and raisins.
Wow.
I think I know
By
who
the
this
way-
person is.
Oh no, you
By
know
the
who
way,
this person is.
Illegal,
and ew.
illegal.
Oh, I'm going to New York now and trying to make it a law against. I hope it doesn't do it anymore. Probably.
Wait, Pickles, did you say I do know who this person is?
Oh, I know who this person is.
No, she's
Do I know who
asking,
this person
does
is?
she know? I don't think you do.
You don't know who this person is.
No, and you shouldn't.
And no, do not know. I'm sad I still know who this person is.
Yeah, I don't want to know that person.
No, you definitely do not want to know that
They
person.
sound like a weirdo.
Oh no! I think you should know the person just to get some stories. But
Oh, you're getting.
because they're
Oh,
guaranteed
we might
somehow.
need to give you stories. We might.
Oh, well, you've heard some of them.
You have
gonna
to.
move on. Now, Pickles, no ink on you, right? No tattoos. Carolina, you have.
I
What was the
have. Give
last
me a
count?
second.
10?
Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? 12.
By the
I
way,
love that she's not 100% sure. Maybe.
by the way, before
I
you
lost
get
count
into
a
this
long
story,
time
there
ago.
was also a tattoo parlor at not a tattoo parlor, but like a little tattoo area over by the
There was a
resort.
guy with a needle and some ink. Let's
It
face
wasn't
it.
a guy with a needle. There was an actual storefront that said it, but I'm just like,
It was a
that-
stingray who spoke English and went, "Hey, you want something? I got a tattoo right there."
never saw who ran it, but I have a feeling that could be a possibility. And I have to say, if you get it there, rethink your life choices immediately, or you were too drunk at that point.
I thought that when I went to Vegas, I'm like, "Here's a simple tattoo I want. How much is it? 500." And I go, "But it's tiny." The guy goes, "But this guy's an artist."
Oh, it's not.
Okay. No.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Are any of your tattoos, would you say, functional? You can do something with them.
Hit the music.
Absolutely
No,
not.
that. Absolutely not. They're decorative, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's a man in Norway named
Wow.
Stefan Carlson. He's 31. His partner is actually a tattoo artist. And he asked her, he said, "I want you to put lines on my finger. I just want you to put lines on my finger."
Lines.
Yeah. And then she figured it out after the spacing. He had actually gotten a ruler tattooed on his finger.
Oh.
So
Does he know it's an app on a phone?
Apparently not. Yes, but you don't have to take it. But you have to hold your phone. You'd have to hold it with one hand and maybe hold something else up. And now he just puts his finger there and goes, "This is 3 inches." Which, by the way, when she's doing something, he goes, "Yeah, I'm not going to measure that. No, I'm not."
Yeah, I
gonna...
was gonna say that's not the best idea in the entire world. It's like, hey, look, let me try. Oh.
But she drew 10 lines, centimeters apart from each other, because it's metric ruler. So now he has a ruler. He said he loves his tattoo. He's been branded a genius by people who actually need this. There's a Navy officer who says, "I've always had to get measurements. I never thought of that. It's the most useful tattoo I could do with something." His wife said, "I was skeptical of it, but it turned out very cool." And so many people who are engineers and have to measure are saying, "I have to get this now." So this could be a thing.
So what's that?
No?
I mean, I feel like it is a smart idea if you need it, if you work whatever needing to measure shit. Okay, it's a good idea because hey, let me just put my finger up and whatever. But as a regular person, absolutely not. I'm not getting this at all.
How about a hairdresser? You walk in, because I know you keep your hair long, and you walk in and you say, I want 1 inch off my hair. I don't want anything off 1 inch. Instead of eyeballing it now, she can go, okay, here we go. This is where I'm snipping. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. An engineer constantly measuring things. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. Again, when he's doing stuff with his wife, he goes, hey, babe, this is huge. Well, I see your fingers, and it's
You were measuring on the You were measuring on the centimeter side, weren't you, honey?
It's this. You know what? I never thought of that. From now on, instead of inches, it's going to be centimeters.
Guys, sounds
like
so much better that way.
Yep, like 157 centimeters, or
How's it going? How's it going? Oh, it's just 81 centimeters today. Really, really good.
Instead of cloud 9, I'm on cloud 3,457 centimeters, whatever that is. I was wondering, is there any other tattoo? Like, I don't know. If you put a compass, that wouldn't work.
No.
Because it's not going to always point to north. Is there any other thing you could get tattooed that would help you in any way in business?
Tramp stamp.
Or a life hack, anything in
tramp stamp that would help you get more. That would probably help you get more people.
Okay. Tramp stamp that just says go away. So people.
It's a tramp stamp that says if you've looked this far, don't look any farther.
You're putting signs on the back here.
Yes! Oh my god, it's like this and up.
Oh! You could put exit only. Okay.
As far as a functional tattoo, I can't think of anything else. That I feel like that is pretty smart.
Oh wait, can you? I'm wondering, can you do measurements like cups, like when you're cooking? No, that would depend upon the size of the cup. I was gonna say you put your finger in, and this is a half cup. This is a full cup, but that would also the diameter of the cup would have to be
no.
Exact. I said no. I'm thinking. No, I was this far from the gas station.
All of a sudden, you give the middle finger, but you're just showing them 5 inches. That's really all you're doing. So,
sir, can you help me? Yeah, sure. It's about. Hey, what's this helping out here? I don't know what your problem is. So, send us any ideas for functional tattoos. Go to the Drain on Facebook, and you can just leave us any comments for that. I'm sad that we're not together, but I am happy that we were able to do this show today, and hopefully next week, we will all be back in Governor's Comedy Club studios, and that will be great. But until then, Pickles, why don't you lead us off? Say goodbye.
YouTube.com/CTD podcast.
Drink.
Yeah, big time drink there. CTD podcast, where we put up shows, where we put up punishments eventually, and we put up segments of this show. I also do a sports show called On the Sports Lines. Our next episode will be Sunday at 9 p.m. YouTube.com/On the Sports Lines. Facebook.com/On the Sports Lines. Watch that there.
Carolina.
Okay, so we have a page called Circling the Drain podcast, but I need our listeners to do me a favor.
On Instagram, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's on Instagram. Please, pretty please bug Ira, because I want to do these punishments, people. I want to put up these punishments. I have very good punishments that I want to do. So please, our listeners, bug Ira, help me get us together so I can do these punishments and put them up on our page.
This, by the way, from the woman who hasn't been in studio for the whole entire month of last.
Yeah, I'm gonna bug you
Sorry.
to come in the studio. Yeah.
Sorry. It wasn't my fault. I blame
Oh!
Fernando, of course.
Oh.
You
Team
can
Fernando.
blame Fernando. Yes.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
What?
Carolina's Corner. Did you miss anything today?
Oh no, everything. I got everything.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty much straightforward.
Okay.
Sean, we're here. He would tell you go to TikTok because we have stuff on TikTok. But on all of our social medias, it's CTD Podcast. Remember to go to the drain again on Facebook. And what do you do there? You vote for your favorite shotgun story. We love votes. We need votes. Please vote. Also, like, subscribe, all of our social media. Let's see. What is it? Like, rate, review, subscribe, share. Those are the big ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. And until next week, whether we do it this way or we do it back in the studio, just remember one thing. If you give us a chance,
We'll give you a
laugh.
laugh.
Bye.
Goodbye.